be socialist. Mm-hmm. Welcome to diplomacy, where you can very politely threaten to kill everyone. No, it's always within all of us. That's the end limit. That's everyone dead. Just wrap your head around it. Think about it. Everyone dead. Or doesn't matter. Everyone dead. That's the end. Everyone will eventually die. I don't want it to completely stop, but eventually we will all cease to exist. That's the nature of entropy. Entropy is there will be life and then there will be not life. But while it's good and bad and there's stillness. And it is freaking weird. With in stillness, you are everything and nothing. So the art of not existing is simply being still. Calm your mind. You are exerting effort to be still. How do you do that? No, you just say, you let it run out. Are you fucking kidding me? Just be still. I am being still. The other parts that have yet to unwind have to do that. What? You already clicked it. Now you just gotta wait until it. It's not that you're waiting for it to be still. It's that you are still in your waiting for the stillness. You're patient in your patience and your understanding that the spinning will occur and the thread twisting like a jump rope being spun. Or any other helix where it's mostly an optical illusion of what's going on, but it's that moment of movement in which the shape moves in a pattern that doesn't matter what the essential building blocks are. In a moment of happiness, that squirrel just was able to go through a freaking awesomeness. He's like, hey, this is like, oh, this is nice. Can have this. Very pleasant. No bad things. Just, huh. Look, this is life. Just, huh. About close to entropy is just existing as you possibly can. A little bit of joy, but it wasn't like overwhelming joy. It was just like, oh, that's nice. But also, wow, life sucks. This is nice. Oh, that's what happens. Like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. And then the car moves. And like, oh, shit. And that's the earth. The earth will move like, oh, shit, this is somebody else's car. maybe that's what happens. Humanity gets wiped out. All of civilization, all of life gets wiped out because we're moss and a cancer, and we're a squirrel underneath somebody else's car. And every few 100 million millennia, somebody comes over and starts the car up and checks to make sure that the engine still works. Or, we are the hiccup in the pulsar. Maybe every solar system has a pulsar, and it's in communication with itself, like the neurons in our bodies, and everything communicates and interacts, and we're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And the solar system is hot right now. Every time that it gets too hot, our patience rise, and and we start fighting amongst ourselves. So on a planetary scale, if the conditions in space are too much where it is hot, then we fight. It's weird. There's an explosion. We try to calm down, but that's just our human nature trying to say, no, maybe not our human nature, it's just the nature of this reality in which there is good and bad of everything. There's always something trying to pull you, and also, it's just the nature of this existence. Not just humanity, it's just the nature of life. If we're experiencing this, this is what we're experiencing, both at the same time. So, I mean, I say it's annoying because I guess I'm an agent of entropy. Because the noise and the noise, and yet I can't stop moving because I'm trying to, like, reverse splash. But also, like in a swimming pool, you're the only one there and you create the force, and it is exhausting. You're trying to find the least amount of effort for you to pull yourself through the friction of everything that's surrounding you, and then it forces you, and you become part of the force of the swirling water in the pool. Like what, like 8, 10 foot pool, so here you can just walk around, chest deep maybe. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of effort to push that kind of water around, and then the force inside of it, when you let go and float inside of the neutrality of that, but it's contained, so there's a twisting motion, but going with the flow is dangerous. It's completely contained, and I made it happen, and it will tear me apart because of I pushed in one direction, and it went a lot more than I was intending. But it was contained like I planned and I knew about. So the torment was all within itself. I imagine if I had kept spinning it, even at that speed, it would have eventually heated up the water from the friction alone. So I'm imagining the fluid, the liquid, any kind of squishiness inside our planet is the pressure of the containment, heating up the elements that heat up the other elements. So the gravity is the cause of global warming because of the pressure inside of our little bubble in space is causing the heat to rise because the pressure is pulling the Earth closer together, which is squishing all the liquids and creating the solids to turn into liquids before we explode in a fireball that liquid turns into gas. I mean, this is second grade science bullshit right here that I'm expanding upon. Expanding or expounding? Whatever. But yeah, global warming is because of shifts in gravity. How do you explain that? It's not the carbon that we're using. Then again, it might be because of the speed in which we are traveling continuously in one direction. Did you notice the temperature changed when everyone stopped moving? Because we weren't spinning the planet in certain directions anymore, and the air in certain directions, we were causing the jet streams and the pressure around it. You know, like when you see a ball in a waterfall that stays floating in air because the water is pushing it one direction, it's actually pushing it up when it's not, because it's pushing it down the other direction. I'm thinking of Smarter Every Day, and he's just holding a garden hose, and there's like a big styrofoam ball. It might be Smarter Every Day, it might be the Slow Motion guys, it might be Tom Scott. But somebody did hold a styrofoam ball and a water hose, and it just floated there because of rotating, and I forgot the point of where I was going with that. The pressure. We stopped and made the air pressure stop spinning, and so the earth pressure went down, and so did our temperature. So if we just chill the fuck out and stop moving, we would cause... So human movement was causing the storms, which was causing the gravity in effect. So if we control the atmosphere of the other planets, we can control the gravity, which will control... All we gotta do is control the speed of the fluid in the atmosphere. Big freaking fans. How do you do that? I don't know. Solar sails connected to ion thrusters, where you're basically using it as a tractor of the galaxy and pulling the air in one direction. Air, atmosphere, whatever. Pulling the atmosphere of the planets in a certain direction to create the conditions that we need on the ground to make it habitable. That might be possible. So, big-ass spaceships connected to tilling machines of the tractors of... So Bill Gates and Elon Musk need to hook together and learn how to farm in space the planets of Planet Starbucks and the swirls, and you need to take a spoon and unswirl the foam or blow on it a little bit, and then you can drink it properly. Weird analogy, but I think it might work. Because now that we have the graphene and the borosphere, whatever, boron, yeah. We have the machines that can create the materials out of the raw materials that create the energy that makes the machines, that creates the energy that makes the... It's the thing that creates itself from the raw materials. And using the raw materials creates more energy that it uses to make the machine that creates the raw materials. So then eventually you just take the dozer sticks, you tear it off, you eat it. Fucking Fraggles. But yeah, no, I mean, you leave it alone, and then eventually there's a structure there, and then you use the sugar structure because the dozers are making that shit. So there are people working, and it is, okay, whatever. And then the Fraggles come over there and they take all of the structure, and there's one Fraggle who actually says, quit picking on the dozers and quit being a jerk to everybody. I want you to frickin' listen to me. That one Fraggle that everybody hated. but was obviously right every single time. Yeah, pretty sure that was the Fraggle that took the DMT trip. Said, "Look, it's a radish." It's like, "Hey, I found another Fraggle. What are these things that are creating this over here in space?" To okay, now I'm stuck in Fraggle Rock. I don't want to do that. And the idea slipped away.